Today I'll teach you guys HLOOKUP, which is very much similar to the XLOOKUP which we learned in the last video. HLOOKUP is basically very much similar to find the value in a table as we do through XLOOKUP, but the only difference is the data structures. So we usually use XLOOKUP when the data is in the long format, but HLOOKUP will be used when the data is in the wide format. So the difference between the wide format and the long format is basically if let's say you have values in rows rather than columns. So basically all of the attributes are in the raw format, for example the table that we use for the XLOOKUP. All of the variables are in the long format. You have each product name or the product ID in different rows rather than different columns. So this table will be called as the long format table, while the table that you are seeing right now from F to R column is the wide format column. We usually get the data from surveys or from other mediums in the long format, so we usually don't have to pivot the data into the long format for proceeding with the analysis. But here, for example, we have the data in the wide format. We have all of the months in different columns rather than rows. So before proceeding with the analysis, what we'll do as a data analyst, we convert the data or we pivot the data into the long format for us to proceed with the analysis. So what we'll do is we'll use the HLOOKUP for these scenarios to convert or to change the data structures of the provided data for us to proceed with analysis. So HLOOKUP is basically very similar to the XLOOKUP in the syntax. You will just type in is equals HLOOKUP, and then you will enter the value, which is the lookup value. So the lookup value will be will be for in this case. So the lookup value will be in this case, for example, is January. We want to fetch the data from the parent table into this table in the format in the same sequence of the months, for example. So we'll type in the row, the cell which contains the value of January. So this is the lookup value. Then you will add the full table. So the full table containing all of the numbers and from which you want to fetch the particular value from. And then you will type in, let's say, for example, you want to fetch the sales number. In the B column, you want to fetch the sales number. So you will type in 2. Let's say, for example, if you want to fetch the profit numbers, so you will type in 3 here. That I'll show you in the next example. And then similar to like we used to do in the XLOOKUP, uh, similar to what we did in the XLOOKUP, what we'll do is type in the condition. If we want exact match, then we will type in 0. If we want don't want the exact match, what we'll do, we'll type in 1. So we can also type in true or false, which will be the exact match or not exact match. So usually in data analytics we are using exact match. So the whole purpose or whole reason of this analysis is to do the exact matching. So we'll type in 0 here. So it will return me the value in the sequence that we want, basically. So right here we have all of the values like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, and we have the exact same numbers which were in the wide format are now in the long format. I'll, for example, retype the formula so that you guys have a better understanding of it. So is equals HLOOKUP. You will add the value that you want to search or fetch from the parent table. In this case, we want to fetch January. For this particular row, we'll add the column. This is the first section. This is the lookup value. Then you will add the full table here, and you will fix it. Fixing the table is very important in these values, in these formulas, because you don't want the formula to move to the next rows when you are dragging the formula and dropping it to the next cells. If you don't fix it, it will basically default setting is to move to the next rows. That's why you fix it, but you are not fixing the lookup value because you want it to move to the next row and fetch the feb's value in the next cell. So you don't fix it. If you are when you are basically fixing it, you want it to be the same table and don't change in every iteration. So this is the second section. Then you have which value you want to fetch. In this case, you want to fetch the third value, the third row value you want to fetch, which is the profit. And then you want it to fetch the exact match. So you will add type in 0, and then you'll close the bracket for the formula to end, and then you'll enter type. Now, when you drag this from this corner and drop it, it will fetch the unique value for every month. It will not fetch the same value for January in every row because you haven't fixed the lookup value. Let's say, for example, for your better understanding, if I'll fix the lookup value for your understanding only, it will not make sense, but for your understanding only, the it will fetch the same value for all of the rows, because you have every the formula in every cell is entering the same value, the same lookup value. But if you control Z it, and you'll see that if you are not fixing a lookup value, it will change, it will move to the next cell, it will change the value in every iteration, which is something that you want. That okay, that's just from my side. I hope you understand the formula. I have tried to make it as simple as possible for everybody's understanding. So I hope you guys have understood it. So thank you.